I mean, there's a lot of different options out there for business owners that are looking at different types of funding mechanisms to help the fuel the growth that their company is requiring. And, invoice factoring is one of those. I really don't want to have, push towards invoice factoring as the only way, because that's silly. I mean, it's one of the ways. And I'd say there's a few different reasons why a business owner should consider invoice factoring as a great solution to fund their business and button up their revenue cycles. And the first one is you have access to cash quickly. A lot of the other funding mechanisms out there or funding options require a long and arduous underwriting process. With us here at Meritus Capital, we've had that underwriting process down to as little as 72 hours and money's wired into their account. So that's a big deal. They're getting their hands on the money fast. And the next thing for that is it's no new debt. So with that being said, you're using your own money to grow. It's an organic funding resource that doesn't end up as a liability and a debt that you have to service. We're flexible. So the terms that surround our process are very flexible, where with other funding processes out there, they're very stringent. There's not a lot of wiggle room. And what I mean by that is we're really flexible with our advance rate. If the pricing makes sense, well, we can get around, pricing restrictions that some of our other competitors have. So in that way, we can be a lot more flexible. It's easy to qualify for. That goes back to the underwriting process. There's only a few bits of information that we really need to gather to get our hands wrapped around whether or not we can fund the company. I think another big thing is that we grow with the company. So a lot of times they might, lock themselves into some type of a line of credit with their bank for a certain dollar amount. And the next day they win some huge contract, which totally changes their cash flow requirements. And unfortunately, the bank just can't flip a switch and increase their line of credit, with the snap of a finger. They have to go through an underwriting process all over again to get approved for that larger dollar amount. And in most cases, they're going to make them wait 6 months to a year before they make a decision on something like that. So with our process, they can get as many new clients as they want. And as long as those clients make sense to our credit department and they're approved, we're going to continue to grow with them all the way to, as large as they'd like to get.